ठीक है
हजुर एक सेकेन्ड जी छिटो अब ठोजी ठुके नि मिलाइया होला ठुके फेसबुक लाइभ यो लागि मिलाइया होला जी छिटो
समझी
नमस्कार जजलपा
रमेश इथने होम स्ट्रेस ने दो थने ची इथने बुरा बुरी जंग यो जाने
मको छिथन टाइम जुला अमगला जी ठुके भने हैन छिटी पखला है ओके सरी माइने मिटे होला
ठीक है सूर्याला
एकछिन So we are about to be live, so please bear with me. So as per the schedule that we are also about to be live. President Gurj, chin saka amu off ni yan desala.
eh
Aja. Jin 30 second kaya jin chita floor biga. Chin I am Pramesh. So on behalf of all Newah Organization USA chapter, I would like to welcome all of you in this today's program. So this is the second episode of eHeritage that we are bringing out on the floor of this Facebook platform through the All Newah Organization USA chapter. I would like to welcome, yes, our presenter, Prajul Gurju. So we have Prajul Ratnabajracharya, who is really well known in the United States as well as around the world. He has so many students and throughout the world, yes, namely that so many in the Eastern world as well as in the Western world too. And we are really humbled to have him in this platform. And he is part of the World Newah Organization USA chapter. And he is a division director of eHeritage, of the Heritage division. So I'm giving the floor to Mr. Prajul Ratnabajracharya. So Prajul, yeah, I would like to welcome here, and floor is all yours now. Please carry on.
okay thank you Promise this is great opportunity always to share with little knowledge what I have so and you know it is wonderful to be in the platform for the World Newah chapters in America so I'm so happy. And so today presentation is the Vihara. So, and then Promise want me to talk more about the my Vihara in America. So, but I just don't want to just to talk directly about the my Vihara. I want to bring a little bit concept of the Vihara. What is the significance and what is the meanings and why we need the Vihara. So Vihara concept is it's very, very not you know thousands and thousands of years in the Kathmandu Valley. It's been settled. It's been there in the thousands of years. Concept is the Vihara is just not just to you know oh I want to build a I have a money I want to build the Vihara. It's not the concept that way the Vihara is built, but Vihara is the spiritual connections with the spiritual connections and spirituals uh, to settles in the spiritualities. And on top of that, like the any activities you want to for your own mind, your own body, on your space to grow more and more. So when we think about the Vihara is also it's the courtyard. It's a created courtyard. When you in the courtyard means Vihara can be used for many, many different things. So for example, like the Vihara in the back in the old days, you know, they use as the use as the monastery or used as the schools in a one side. And mostly Bihar is like a concept like how to train the people or how to uh, the trains from the foundations for the spirituality so they can be the loving kindness way they build the community in the area. So that's the other regions. And then you create the graduation, they have a different layers in the Bihara. Like that they have a Nani Choka you may hear about in Nepal. There's a, according to my father's book, which is the Bihari Taza, he describes that we have in Kathmandu valleys, it's almost 500 Biharas in Kathmandu Valley. And this is like when you come to the present day of how that work in the systems, those Biharas like it's in that period of times, it is a school, it is a college. So once you get into the Chokonnani, it is like a tiny schools. You train from there, then you come to the Bihara, and then you moving into the Mahavihara. Once you get into Mahavihara, you be into the master level. And then you get a master, it be complete, then you become a Vajracharya. So then you can carry on to the Dharma. That's the concept in here. And also, Bihara is also the, you know, that period of the times, like the it's people builds like the like when I myself when I grew up in my life, it's the Bihara. You have all the naturals. We don't have a toys. We create the natural toys to play. We don't need anybody's, and the parent doesn't need to be take care all day. Like in right now it's in a ways, or even Nepal, like you don't you don't have a play game play for the kids, and their environment they created with the art, and every little pieces of the art, it is so important. So that's why it's been created that way, so you can you know uh, for like the humanity, for like the most important things of the humanity is to harmonious harm with the harmony. You just buildings the harmony, and you creating the foundations for your minds and body. So that's the other reasons it is been in Nepal. It's been thousands of years. And the first Bihara, it is called in Nepal. I don't know how many. It doesn't have we have a really evidence that way. But the Swayambhu, when the Manjusri cut the gourds, cut the water away, and then he have come with the disciple with the Prachanda Deva, and he was being initiated himself, and he built the Swayambhu domes in a Kathmandu Valley, and he created that Bihara. It's called that period of time. It's called Samye Bihara. Samye Bihara is Samye, the Samego Mahavihara. This is known as Samego Mahavihara. And then that Bihara is to create like this is the when the Manjusri see the visions of the Vipassi Buddha who throw the seed in the Kathmandu Valley. So it was lake Vipassi Buddha throw the seed, and the Vipassi Buddha already futuring this place is for the spiritual to grow. And then they build the Bihara, and then that Bihara still exists, and the Bihara is the monitor in the present day. And every Bihara have to be related with this Same Bihara. It's still now it's like a Patans and Bhaktapurs and the Sakus and Kirtipur. They have a divided in the Malla period of the time. So now in only Kathmandu valleys, they also make it that in a Kathmandu valley with Thani Bihara, Koni Bihara, Dattu Bihara. That means like a upstairs, up part of the region, up part of the continent. How you call that? Up part, down part, and middle part. They made it that in the four different divisions within that four different division, and then they have a Mahavihara. We have 18 of them among that, and subdivisions of the Biharas. We have hundreds of them in subdivisions of the Bihara. So those Vihara, as I say, like the when you need to, back in the old days, there's no such a government schools, or you don't. I don't know how school is functioning in the Bihara. It's school is functioning in the home school kind of. There's no uh, in the present day. It's a little slightly different than present day, that I can say. But it is the Bihara is the trained as the schools in the back in the old days, and then you you know gradually built. So the Bihara is also like the how you call that, you know, when you create the foundations for your minds and the body, which is harmony, love and kindness, and a community oriented, gathering together, all the different activities, all different community helpings with all everything you need to build with the community involved, then you can build in the fast than normally. In and also that you are all in the spiritual connections with this, and that is a help to our settles our minds, and growing with that minds, it is you can reach to the lots in the world. So that's why it's the community. When you come to the Bihara or the Mahavihara, they are always like that. They build more and more. They always in the community. They always together. Anything they need to do. So that's the concept of the Vihara is to build your minds and body. So this is my temple. So it's the 11 years before first consecration. We brought it to we finished this temples. We call the Nitya Mandala Mahavihara. So Nitya Mandala Mahavihara's rise with the names from my institute. We have an institute called Dance Mandala. That's also Sanskrit name is Nitya Mandala. So Nitya Mandala and a dance mandala is slightly different than how people think. Everybody thinks that it's my Nitya Mandala Mahavihara is just for the dance, but it is not just for the dance. That is Nitya Mandala Mahavihara. So Nritya, Nitya, Natya, those that the three Sanskrit word, and it is it becomes like the nirte. Normally people say like, oh, it's a dance, but nirte coming from nate, nate and nitte. So nitte means basically the everyday you do the ritual. In a dance, it's a nirte, uh, sorry, charya, we call the charya nirti. So charya means daily practice, and niti means every day you do. So back in the old days, that what they the concept of the charya niti is like what you do for every day for a benefit for all sentient being, and what you do to grow your own things. So in when you say that things, it is come with that you to grow yourself like you have to be meditation, you have to be practicing the daily. So that's daily practice. It's it's the became the charya nirte. Is my views of the charya nirte is daily practice, and whatever you do the daily practice, this this drive you into the spirituality, and you grow more, and that's way to go to enlightenment. So this Nirtimandal Mahavihara, it is came from that, you know, the root which we created back in Nepal. So, and when you come to America, so my own histories about America is I carry with my father's blessings. And 1919, I did 89 to 90, we went to the Japan to build the stupa in a in Japan in a Tokurenji, which is very famous Buddhist monk there, which is Takawaka. And he invited us to build, oh, somebody donate that stupa, and they need to consecration. So my father did the consecrations in Nagoya, and my father kept talking that, wow, if you have a carry with this, the monument or this heritage, whatever, to represent as Nepal, because this is like a typical Newah or typical Nepali traditions. So if we can carry this way into different part of the world, or what do we have the art and the dharmas and the religious and music, whatever. If we can carry, it will be more appreciated in the other country and more honor. So my father was very honored to do the consecration stupa in the Japan. So and then my father kept talking about this Bihara is going to be in Kathmandu Valley. It's completely dying. Not that much activities is happening. Only things is happening just to eat the food. There are parties, but not a spiritual orientation is happening. We need to create something that to you know with the create something that so people can carry and for next generation to next generation. And also the Bihara has been not been built into 350 years. The last Bihara has been built in 350 years. In that sense, I'm not talking about like there's a lots of Bihara, which is the monk and nuns been building in Nepal. But the Vajracharya built with the Vajrayana Connect and Bihara, it is built last time in 350 years. And since 350 years, never been built. So this is the Bihara after 350 years outside the Nepal. Also the outside the Nepal, there's not that much Biharas, which is connected to the Vajrayana. Now we have it in the Lumbini as well. They recently built. So that's the concept. It came, and then when I come to America, so it's a little bit challenging and a little bit difficult to life in the beginning to deal with this, and it's not happening that easy to build with this. So my job is to teach. My job to teach little dharma. So and nobody knows what I'm doing in America. So I start to cooking food when I was teaching, and I have a tiny little apartment not far from here, and I was just like I want to promote my art. I want to promote my what I carry is from my childhood. So I want to create that to give share with everybody. So and nobody knows about the Nepal. Nobody knows about my dance. Nobody knows about the Newah Buddhist that dance Buddhist dharma. So I started teaching the dharma. I try to stay teaching the dance. I start to cooking for everybody's. That's why it's to bring the attraction more people's in. So and then someday like someone came to study my dance. It's like a surprise. Someone who been studies in the Tibetan's Dharma for the 7 years, who's been monk for nuns for the 7 years, and they came to my this dance class like it's unusual for them to see cooking, the teachers cooking and teacher talking and making cleaning dishes. I was surprised. And then well, then in the meantime, like I was always going to Nepal to show, and then show Nepal or tour Nepal. So whoever want to comes with me, I just tour to Kathmandu Valley. So meantime, and also that lady, her name is Helen. She also came on my tour, and my tour is dedicated always in the Biharas and see that how basically like the sad part of the Biharas in the Kathmandu Valley. So there's no such a Biharas have been really functioning properly, and that's why I want to create some things in that bring the concept of the Bihara and create it in America. And also the concept also to bring that is so we can have a create a Guti and a connect a Guti and bring more social group to create it. So first times I went to, it's about like a 2005 we went to Nepal, and 2005 is like we just looking for like what we can do. And second times I took it to her again, and and it's bring you more inspiration, like, wow, this is such a beautiful art of Nepal. We should bring it this. So then we started in the 2007, and thinking about that, and then we start to doing research more, as much we can do the research, what we need to build the real Bihara. So Bihara to build, it's not a joke. It is take a, it's amazing uh, studies. Plus, we don't want just to make it that the Bihara just for the art to display. We want to bring it that authentic and the traditional, and it's how is that functioning, and that way we try to bring it here. So the other concept is, as soon as we start to talking that, so what will be easy way of making Bihara? So Bihara, and then so we just searching for that, and then uh, Professor Dina Bangdel's, uh, his her uncle was was there, which is the engineer who does design in a temple. So when we're talking to the Dina Bangdel, she's passed away right now. She's a great scholar, and so she's like, oh, my uncles can make it for you. So this, he just drove for like within 2 days. He just gave it. You should make it that way at the temple. So this is the originals drawing from that. Uh, his name. What is his name? Forget his name. I've written in the book those days all the history, so I forgot his name. Then Pradhan, his name is Pradhan too. So he built it, and then we came to in here, and we have a engineer here, and who measure everything. And same way we ordered all the wood carvings, what we needed for wood carving, and we built with this. So, and the concept of the in the Biharas, in the it's also the mind to train in the body. So you will look at the picture, which is like a Bihara is like your whole entire enlightened body is. So in like to get the enlightened to the body, so there's a need to train with our body, mind, and speech basically, and there's a uh, body, mind, and speech in the traditions. If you train your body, like it's that the body have the many different functions, which is you do all crazy things. Also, in the meantime, you also can do the very enlightened things with the body. And the mind, it is the importance of the mind to train, and also the speech. So, in the Buddhist concept, is if you train your body, speech, and mind, and that can completely transform your we call make your liberations. And when you come to the histories of the body, it means body, speech, and mind. When you think about our physical body, like see what are we doing in the realities in this body. So what is this body? If you don't have the the concepts in like there's the elements, the five elements. There's a lots of different wisdoms in that five elements. If you don't connected with that five elements, you may not be connected with this, connected to the spirituality and grow your minds. So, and then minds like it's just amazing things, like if you look into the minds, there's no way to describe, there's no word to describe that. Like there's so many different things we need to be, what do you call, like the mind is, because of the minds, our body is functioning. Because of this mind, we are happenings. So if you train the minds, so you can connect it to the all sense and being. That is the whole idea is about that. And then a speech, like how you speech, it is in the tantras, like every word is so values, and every word is the connection to the mind of the connections to the deeper into the body. They also say that like one word can be more sharper than the knife. If you go to knife, you can cut some part, it can be healed. But the word you say somebody, it may not be can heal. So they also they are like a this. If you cannot concentrate in your speech, and this will be harm other people. So we need to create it. We need to mind to train on that speech and make life is functioning. So they have a different layers in the part of making in the temple. So and when you come to that body mind speech, this also goes to the inner, outer, and secret part. And the outer part is in the temple to create. We have they call we created here with the protector deities. And then once you go to the inner part, we have what we needed for our life to grow, like the meaningful way. So when we come to the inner part, we keep the more Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And then when you go to the secret part, that is the cosmic inside the body. So that's also connected to the body, mind, and spirit. So these temples, it's connected to that way. And in the present days of these temples look this, and we have also the part of the temples, not just only build the temples and a physical body, it have to be connected with all different five elements is there. And so five elements there means like you are connected to those elements. So elements you can see and feel it and experiencing with that. So that's the whole ideas about having. So that's why we have the lunity or the golden tap with the water that's make you relax and calm. Then we have a air element is there, earth elements is became as the temple, and then we have a fire elements. So that's what we do the everyday rituals in a morning ritual with the wick, burning the wick, incense burning. That's also the representing with that. So, and other part, the temple is also no different than the stupa also. So stupa, when you think about the stupa, there's many different layers. I mean, I should give one day talk about only the stupa and how the stupa then functions in a layer after layer. So this element sometimes a little bit extensible. I don't know, people see is exchange in a different way in the element. So this is our stupa in our temples. So there is a layer. Eh, we have a all the treasures, all the everything that we buried in this ground. And then we come to the top level. There's the bodhisattva or protection level. Then we have more treasures and more mandalas and more diamonds is all buried in here, this area. But this have every significance in a layer. So stupa is also we call the mandala offering, this the five dimensions in the top. And those dimensions is the significance and meanings for our minds, the body, to trains. So all the Buddha Dharma in the traditions was there to how you can train body, mind, and speech. So same concept. It's also the temple is also is like a cosmic mandala. So cosmic mandala is also the part of the stupa as well. So whatever you needed for the nutritions, whatever you needed for to keep the happy life, and that is in the Vihara. So Vihara is, when you see in the above, like there's all different vessels and all different things, this is like that when you see view from the overalls from the above, how many things it's been buried, how many things have been there. So that's the concept. It's in the Vihara. So Vihara, but I don't know, I can talk all the details. So each corner in our Vihara, this is the each corner, the inner circle in a corner and outer circle. So inner circles, it's this, and we have outer circle. We have I will show you that we buried the vessels, and we have a vessels outer circle which have a 10 vessel that they call the Dasa Maha Kuradi Devata, which is like a really wrathful deities, and east wrathful deities does in each different way of protections. And then when you come to the inner circle, it is more like the Buddhas and Taras. So in concept like a Swambhu, when you go to the Swambhu in Kathmandu Valley, so you see that it's in the east, west, north, south. They have a uh, Buddhas there, and in a corner they also have a Tara. So that is in there. And the middle center deities, it will be the middle part. So we build the Achobe and give a life of the Achobe with all the doing rituals, lots of ritual in Nepal. When we did the consecration, we have like almost 2 weeks and the groundings to give a life of the Buddha. So it's take you 2 weeks to build that, and we did it. So I will show you some picture. So that's also does no different than paintings. So paintings, stupa, and the Vihara, it have a same concept. So they built with the wherever the related deities is there, wherever connected to deity there as the mandala. So mandala also same ways like the in a Bihara, you keep in the center deities that your deities will be, and then make it around with that. So history of Nepal, it's also the other part of the Bihara is Nalanda Vishwavidyalaya, which is considered that it's in the 6th century, and the 6th century is built, and from the 7th century or maybe 5th century started this one, and the 7th century is from the 17th century to the 12th century. They produce so many different masters in that, and then those masters, like a completely enlightened master, they dharma it's been flourishing in every part of the world in the present day because of those master. And those master, they built with this Bihara. Bihara. Uh, so, so Bihara, as we say, Bihara is a functioning that way. So uh, it is built gradually to get into enlightenment. So that is the concept of the Bihara, is like the practice, study, and then you move forward into the enlightened. And so they were, when the concepts is built with that way, they have a this. Oh, sorry, I should other way around. Huh. I'm not the professional in the fixing how to fix the computer part, but I should be turned other way around. This is the Nalanda's. That's this temples is the map of this temple. So if you look into this temple, they have a gradual build, like every courtyard is a different level of studies, things happening. And then once you get to gradually, you go into in the top levels, and then you are get enlightened. So that's why they keep, you know, the like in a Nepal, like they have a Toko, Nani, and then Bahi, and then Bihara and Mahavihara come. There's a many different layers, and that's what the study group get together and practice whatever is needed in that period of time, and they try to get enlightenment. So that's what's happening. So this is the map up there. So this is our temples before we build it. I'm just go through it fast with this one. So this is then it is, you know, the gradually start to creating with this whatever that, wood and paddings, and this is from the roadside, and the concept is built and layers built. There's a crew who's been, this is the main guy. He's from Germany. Actually, he's also the one of my students in Nepal's, which I known from Nepal. And when I came to Portland, and then she just like, oh, she just run into, she get to know. She studied with Nepal. Then we are thinking about building this. So, oh, my husband does this thing. So we hire and then made this happen. And here's a Helen. She's the one who created this temple, and that's her crew. Other one is our crew. So we're just having fun with this we're creating the multiple arms and multiple deities with this, with that our tools. So and so they are the people who build it. So we keep it as it is, gradually buildings, and we have also radiant heat in the floor. That's what we have in a temple, and that's it's dry. When it dry, it comes with the dry in a certain pipeline with the hot water running, and it is gradually creating with this inside. So will be continuous, seeing this in a layer. And this is then also if you do the auspicious things, they always come with if you do the auspicious thing, they always come with the disaster too. So we got a fire happens in the house, and it all breakdowns completely. That's a fire start from the basement, and then it is completely mess it up whole house. And then we stop for whole years to not to do anything. So fires came from the basement of the house, and but temple have a nothings, and the really unusual things happen. We have a sifted, it's all the carvings from Nepal, and then those uh, carvings we are about to what do you call, we are about to open the box, and we haven't opened the box for the week or month, and then one day my like, oh, I need to open the box, look what is there. So I just moved from this part and moved to the other room, and that day it was fire and nothing touched with our carvings. It's a beautiful carving. So anyhow, then it's all been damaged inside the house, but that's also the other benefit we have. Uh, and here, okay. Other benefit we have with this having uh, fire is we have a many different doorways we created in this house, so easy to access. And so now consecration time comes. So this lady is our also the students of our temple and also the artists. So when we needed like all the vessels to be painted, so she came and volunteered to paint this all the vessels. We have many vessels in it's different vessels have different characters. So that's what it is happen. And then the ritual preparations, and lots of ritual preparations, and that's with the foundations for the Buddha, our Buddhist place. They have to be kept with the sword and the rope and other things. So and then Kisli, that's the other part. It's a very important importance for the invocation for the deities. The Kisli is being really used. They usually keep top of that vessels, and all the nectars inside, with the 5 different nectars inside. And the priest from Nepal, who's a Yegiman Pati, was we buried there, and each buried place he need to do the sadhana and invoke, and then grounding the energy to there. Each different place have each different mantras and each different connection with them. So he did the groundings rituals with that way, and that's why we have a temple here in this. So this is the front front door. We have a, if you, I mean, we can talk about all these auspicious symbols, and why we need the auspicious symbol, then what is the concept with this. So we have let's see again. So the whole concept of the temple is the ideas about the temples. We have a, if you look into this, we have a 16th of them, and then every corners we have a stretch here, which we call Toran. Um, so so the idea about that, like we have 4 different animals in 4 different corners. So according to the Newah traditions and temple history of Vihara history in Nepal, so they give you like the one animals with the dragons, and dragon is represented that will be strong and will be powerful, and then the other animals will be the lion, so will be the kingdoms of this area, so will be kingdom that's we call became a Mahavihara. And then one is the sheep is considered that we don't harm anybody and we don't kill anybody. So that's kind of concept with that. We be quiet, we'll be staying quiet. And then other animal, it's called a bird. It's like we have built with a conscious mind, so we can smell, so we can hear, we can see from far away, you can smell from far away. That is kind of concept is bringing in a 4 different direction. And then then all different corners, we have a 16 of them. Those are the 16 offering goddesses. And the main deity is the Sakyamuni Buddha. So that's it is in a temple. Uh, this is the other side temple. And yeah, these corner, every corners and every part, they have to do the sadhana to build. And we have a inner part, the grounds in the earth, we bury it in the here. And then the one is in the pinnacles in the Gojura. That's also the further spirit in the top. So that's we did it. And then so we have a day of the process with that Buddha to honor. So we gather all, we get together, it's all in the park here. It's not far, it's about 2 miles away from here, the park. And we the Buddhas need to be in the process. So then we made it, this temple is a center. So we created like a 3 block in the far from this house. So we make the whole circle in this area in the 3 block with the musical, with the 5 Buddhas, with the process, and with the bangings, with the all, we have hundreds people are get together and joined in this process. And then those are the priests from Nepal, with the Yegiman Pati, main priest, and also the Sugata Bajracharya. So that's the Yegiman's disciple, Sugat Bajracharya. So we process with this, and we did the ritual. So we bring it to the temples, and then welcoming to the temple. And in this process is a Jajamana is the Helen Appel. So she's the one who donate this. So so we have and then we also have the Daya chanting the Namasangiti, other different chantings in the same way. So, and then we have a musical, Supas and Brenda's and the Michael Strelling, who is also the music teacher here. They came to process, and Alexander Rosepot, professor from Berkeley University. He's also the part of our family, family connection to the family. So he's really connected to this temple. So we brought the Buddhas in and then made the ritual part. So ritual concept is really how you call that is it's that's the Jajamana. So our Jajamana is there. And so in all day we have a rituals and the fire rituals inside the temples and buildings with all different things in here. So means one day I will just talk about only the ritual part. This is called the Duso Mandala, the cosmic mandala. So just go through it that way. Uh, yeah, so every day it's the different, So also whatever we have a statues for the we need to whatever we brought the statues, So we also consecrated those all the statues around here, and the paintings and everything's what we have. So every little statues we have, it's been consecrated here. So and consecration part is the dancings and blessings and all different things that's happening as always. It's a, I don't know, it's just like a day after day. It's like whole concept like it's the giving a life of the Buddha is like you give a birth first, and before you got a birth, you need to be pregnancies to be happen, and then so you're growing inside, and then there's a process of the doing a ritual. Then you you are fully ready for the birth, and then it's a give a birth, and then so you give the eye opening ceremonies and crown ceremonies, and so initiated like a completely turning into completely enlightened. So that's the process what we did it here. give accounts and eyes blessings and eye opening ceremonies. The final one is eye opening ceremony. So give the crowns offering and then start with the blessing. So this is also the one of my mentor in America, Miranda Shaw, who brought me to. She's the one who brought me to America, and she's the one who introduced me into the in America in the Buddha Dharma. So Miranda was here too as well. So in the inside part, so this is the main entrance, and this is the opposite. So I took the panorama view, panorama views for the temple. So and then we have all the dakinis in the top of there. We have a according to Kathmandu Valley, we have a five dakinis. It's in here. So the Saku Karga Yogini, Bijeshwari Akasa Yogini, Nairatma, Pasupati is Nairatma, and then Bajra Yogini from the Parping, and the center is the Bajrabarai. It is considered, and we have all the different deities in here in the Guakonchapwa we call in Nepal, which is the pinnacle, tiny little pinnacles with little deities in it there. And we have Manjusri, Buddhas, Lokeshwaras, Taras, and all different things. And then this is the main shrine. So main shrines is have a the Avalokiteshvara. We also have a somebody donate with the Thai Buddhas is there in there. And that's the main shrine is here with the Chabe Buddha. And we have a Vajrasattva's and the Tara in this corner. And then so also the when we had a consecrations, this is the Bajra Dhipatishwari, which is the Bajra Buddha, Bajra Buddha. I don't know. I never seen it before in Nepal with a both hand holding the Bajra. This have to be consecrated. Then also the Atsala, it's the here. So those two deities is been built in the created with this, and that's with our library. So then also we created a library. The Helen, she collected so many books, and so we created a library, and that library is dedicated to the Helen's father. There's he also donate. So and also the my father's connection with this. So we built it. So this is in such a panoramic view. So in our library all rounds with the book, and we have a quite a collections on the Nepal side also as well in the library. So then we complete consecrate when the going to the top of the roof to pour Yomari and Chatamari. That's we did it in the final ritual. So offerings Yomari and Chatamari in the final. And then now after we consecrate it, we need to do the daily rituals. So daily ritual, I just post on the Facebook and the YouTube. You may see that what is the means of daily ritual. They have a very significant and very meaningful that the daily ritual. So you learn more about what is the meaning and the significance with the rice offerings and incense offerings and flowers offering. Those are the symbolic. So that's daily rituals. We initiated, you know, and in a in a temple since we established 11 years right now, and we haven't missed any single day to do the rituals in the evening and the morning ritual. So sometimes in the kids we also train for the kids, just to for they for them it's like a really fun for them. So that's I can say. So we have a all different rituals in the part in the temples it's happened. So and so far we have a in 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 the we have a all the mostly in Americans or mostly in the local peoples in Portland, they doing rituals every day. So this is Russian, and then we have a lot of different activities that happenings in here, weddings and the birthday bundles and the ihis and whatever is needed to be in a uh, you know traditionally in Nepal. So that's we functioning as, and then we sometimes we have equinox and the mm, different occasions and different things. We draw with the chalk and keep the petals, flower petals, and create a real mandalas. and we dance. Sometimes we do different activities in here. Even we draw the mantras in the each corner and keep all the petals in here. So also petal is a belong to the red and the blue. There's a five Buddhas concept within there. So that's what we do. And this is the one of our consecration day of the ceremonies, flower decoration. This is also one of the equinox performance. We created the mandalas in the center. So, and then we do the dance. We have lots of different activities in the every year's it's chanting. And so other parts, my conclusions in here with like this courtyard, if you have it, I mean, you can do lots of things. You don't need to worry about the traffic. You don't need to worry about anything. And then mostly people like in the courtyard, they parents are living in the houses like here. And then they can see easily, they can view easily, they can what they're going and happening easily. So you just left them for play with the nature, play before they didn't have the stones here. So now basically they're playing with the mud and you know in the practice of the dharma. So and so there's a lots of different 100 500 temples in Nepal. So there's all different activities you can see in courtyard. Training for the kids, training for the all different practice, esoteric practice, those things will be happening in. So any activities can be possible. And that's what's I'm growing up with those Vihara. This is my Vihara. uh, Now it's not anymore like this. It doesn't have that any view like this anymore. It's completely different. And this has become a Casa Bazaar, which is like all house been tear downs and brand new houses. And then everything like a completely full of the motorbike, and the bazaar is everywhere. This became the turning to a restaurant. This became the turning to the store. So those Bihara is became that way. And recently I went to Nepal. I just did the rituals in time of my time. So and now it's this is the early morning in a Saturday, so there's no motorbike, but it's completely changed in this Bihara. So it used to be this Bihara like this. Now it's changing to a completely different. So that's why it grew up in my whole life, and my spiritual practice. It's happening in this life. So this is called a Mantra Siddhi Mahavihara. And so Bihara, every Bihara, as you can see, that's all different functions in the different parts. So this is we call the Mantra Siddhi Mahavihara. Mantra Siddhi Mahavihara very, very unique. It's built in the 2200 years before. And then the history has been carried on to still in the present day. One of the person that built the stupa, and then this is the Ashoka stupa they call normally. And then one person thinking that, well, we didn't have a matching stupa, let's create it. And creating the when he built it, he also cover and it builds like the twin stupa. They're thinking about a twin stupa to build. And then as soon as they built, completed, and then he died, he passed away. So then they don't need to do, they don't do anything with that. They leave it as it is. So this one stupa is considered the Ashoka stupa. Ashoka is in the 3rd century. He came there, and in the Kathmandu Valley, you may see that many Ashoka stupa in the Kathmandu Valley. So those places, it's very highly practiced in the spirituality in back in old days. And my Bihara, where I grew up, so this person it is like a really tantric hero in Nepal in that period of times. And he also created the tunicals with the Mahakala temples in the tunicals. And also he is the constitutor who brought the what's called Chandramarasana in the Tebala. He also created that Chandramarasana. And some people have a different views, like some people say there's a Bandhudatta is created. I don't know, history can be, there's no such a true history, but it is considered that this Bihara's founder of this Vihara, who also brought the Mahakala in the temples, in Mahakala and Bhadrakali. That's why we have associated within our history back in Nepal. Mostly the member of this Mahavihara is the priest take care that Mahakala and Bhadrakali. So we still practice esoteric practice in the Bhadrakali is still in the present day. And every night, like once a year, we have the big night, and then we do the fire rituals and singing and dancings all night in the secretly, only allowed for the initiated peoples in that area. So that's the so my conclusions is to have this the Vihara is really important for the for the not only for the spiritual oriented, but also it is good for the to foundations to create. If you create the foundations in your body with like a harmony, loving kindness, friendly, to hold support, then your mind is like a really peaceful. You create it. That's why those Vihara is the place for those to grow, grows to grow. That's why Vihara, like once you have a little Vihara, anywhere you can create that Vihara, it will be benefit for the many generations. It will be carried on with many generations can build with the spirituality. So that's why it's in our Vihara. What we do is here we have a hundreds of every year's like a hundreds, because of pandemic we don't have that much activity. Almost in every years we have hundreds of activities, and we have so many great masters came into our temple. And the highest master, like the Dalai Lama's personal translator, came here, as well as Dalai Lama's the previous teacher, his reincarnations was in here too. And beside that, we have so many scholars and so many great teachers we've been hosting in the past 10 years. So it's just to have that is the space, and making functionings of all different activities. It's a help to grow. So that's my Vihara. Vihara is like the university. Vihara is the growing to getting the master levels. And then once you're in the master level, also the concept in Nepal, we have a 18 Vihara. Many people have a different views in 18 Vihara. Some people said a different, after Buddha passed away, they have a different mind setup, so they may go in a different way. But my feeling is like once you have in a master's, once you have in a master, once you have it enlightened, they go to a different place and they start to teaching. It's like the same here in the Western world. Once you get a master, you go somewhere else and doing the PhD, doing practice, whatever you're doing. So same concept in Nepal. The Sanghu Vihara is being created in the thousands years before, and then it is when they get the masters or the enlightened from there, then they move to the other direction. They creating own group. It's like in the present day of the school. How many schools in the Kathmandu Valley? So they start building the school and creating some more and more schools. And that's where it is in the Vihara concept to like the highest educations. So education is to drive you into the enlightenment. Not only degree you carry, it's in a piece of paper. They literally train you in your body, mind, and speech, so you can be enlightened. You can be helping physically, mentally, healthy, however you can help to the others. That's why it's be helping. So that's the I have to say today. So thank you. And I don't go to the detail. I should maybe, I don't know, in future, I should be more connecting in detail. So I just want to see how Vihara monitors in the functionings in the Vihara. There's lots of things to say. So I will stop here. And if anybody have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you, Prajal Gurjo. Isn't it amazing that, yes, how, yes, he has shared the stories, the journey that, yes, he has started in the United States, and how he was so determined, and how he has been supported by all the communities, non-Newah communities, non-Nepalese communities, right? So, I mean, I'm not getting the words, exact words, when he was sharing all these, yes, the visualizing all these processes as it went through. So thank you so much, Prajul Gurju. So we would like to, yes, start the Q&A session. If anybody has any questions, that you can unmute it. And to the audiences, that we would like to let you know that if you also like to, yes, participate in this, and you would also like to come and join us in the Zoom, that you can just text us, or you can send in the comment box, or you can just PM me or DM me, or you can just do the Prajul Gurja as well. So from the, yes, today's participant, if you guys have any questions, that I would like to open the floor, please unmute yourself and please go ahead.
I have a small questions. First of all, I feel very touching on this sharing, and especially the history of building the Mahavihara in Portland. And I have one small question that is, my student asked me, why? Because the Buddha, the statues in China, we always see that in golden color. Why in your Mahavihara, the statues of Buddha is in black color?
Well, the history is history. It's like when you look into the the Buddha's trains his bodies and mind from his mind. It's like the closing eyes, or the focusing in one little thing, like the halfway closed eyes. So basically Buddha will see only emptiness. The Buddha nature is about emptiness. Emptiness is from the darkness. The darkness is the emptiness. But in the present day, that people start making a goldens. Golden is also the represents as the emptiness. You can take it in two different ways. So idea is like the organic and the graduals, it's like a dark part, but other parts like the signings, the golden, like a signing and the illuminatings, is the gold part. And also the gold is even like a tiny dust, it's always in the gold. So essence of the energy, it is always keeping as it is. It doesn't go into the dissolve. That's the gold symbol. So people use in a certain continent. I mean, different part of the world in a different different way of using. But Nepal, I mean, now they start to painting gold too in the present day. But mostly that they don't want to keep it, gold there. They want to show that is when you see in the dark and see in the gaze with the dark, it's just happenings. Because of the Buddhist teachings about from the darkness to illuminate from the darkness, or clear off the darkness. That's what is the Buddha did it. So that's why Buddha is been the organic way of we creating the Buddha statues as dark. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good. Okay, so that's will be well. Thank you for attending and thank you for joining. So we'll keep in touch in the next times. And so thank you. Any questions with that? Good. Okay. That's all. Yeah, we should stop.
Yes, Prajul Gurja. So